What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and today I'm going to be reviewing Persona 5. Now, this is a game that I have truly enjoyed playing so far, and to start off this review, I do want to just say that I have not beaten the game. In fact, I haven't even played over double-digit hours, but I do believe and I do feel that I have played enough of this game to truly tell you how I feel about it and my impressions of it, and ultimately whether or not I think you should buy this game. I do think I've spent enough time learning the game and interacting and playing enough of the features that the game has to offer, and obviously I'm going to play more. And that kind of leads to the good thing about this game, or the good part of this review is this game is phenomenal. This game is so good. And I knew it was going to be good. I really did. Persona 4 Golden, I wasn't part of the original group that got into it for the Vita. I was listening to Podcast Beyond at the time, and I know that obviously they were very excited and they loved the game. And I know the buzz for Persona 4 Golden was that it was a phenomenal game. And I played Persona 4 Golden, and I didn't play a ton of it, but I played enough to understand why people like these games, even in the in our area of the woods. So Persona 5, I've been waiting for a very long time. When it was announced to only come out for PS3, I was like, well, I'm going to keep my PS3 just to play Persona 5. And then, it came out in Japan back in, I think, September. So it's been almost a full year since it's come out originally, the actual first version. But now we get it in the US, and it is really better than I thought it was going to be, even because I knew it was going to be a good game, but I didn't expect to actually love it as much as I am. I sent Tyler Snapchat videos of some of the cutscenes where it's kind of like the straight out of an anime show, and I was smiling because of how amazing it looks, because of the personality that this game has. This game is filled with personality, from the characters to the environment to the storytelling to literally everything in this game. It is full of just amazing things. Every part of this game is good. So I haven't played a ton of it, but here's the general recap that I have of this. The characters are super good. Now, your character doesn't talk, doesn't have an actual voice. And while I found that weird at first, a lot of games do that. So, I guess I have to just get over it. I'm not the biggest fan of that, but that is literally the smallest thing that affects my decision on this game. I love the characters in this game. That's really where the personality comes in. Morgana, the cat, she is just so full of life. And the English dubbed voice actors do a phenomenal job in this game. Obviously this game wasn't made for English, and that really leads to Atlus. Atlus has done a phenomenal job of bringing this game into English, from Japan to English, and I don't know how they do it. They are very talented. While their rules on live streaming are the stupidest things in the entire world, that division should be fired. The people that put the work in to change, and they do so much work when it comes to this, they have to actually sometimes rewrite complete lines of dialogue because something that would make sense in Japan and how it's written, or maybe if a joke is funny, when you translate it straight to English, it doesn't do the same thing to the audience listening to it. So they have to kind of sometimes rework entire dialogues. So they did a phenomenal job. The English actors and actresses did incredible jobs. There's so much life to each and every single character. Whether it's a person that you see on the street that's literally just just a random character that they put there, they all do such a great job. And the story itself is very good, and that's actually kind of what caught me off guard of Persona 5, is I didn't expect the story to be as good as it was. This story is super good, and I haven't even scratched the surface of the story. It's taken people over 100 hours to beat the game. I'm about 1/10 of that. Okay, so I haven't even started, basically. and the story is already so good. It's an M-rated game, and I sometimes forgot that because a lot of times the brightness and the energy that I was talking about makes you feel that this game is maybe a little bit more lighthearted than it is, and it does have those moments. There is some comedy, there is some cool elements that don't make it seem very intense, maybe. But then when you really look at it and you see the story and you see several aspects of the story, this game is dark and it's grounded, and there's a lot going on that is definitely for a mature audience. And the story grips you literally right from the beginning. Like, I'm totally, totally invested in what the story is telling me. Like, I want to play it. I want to know more. And oftentimes, like I said in the beginner's guide video, big, huge games that take a lot of hours to beat normally drive me away from it. And I think because this game isn't necessarily an open world game, it's a really strong story with really good characters, with really good gameplay that I'll talk about in a second, and it's very streamlined into making you want to keep playing it because I'm fully into this game and I'm not stopping. So the gameplay itself, obviously, going through day by day, doing different tasks, having a job or talking to confidants or buying things or selling things, or literally there's so much to do. Reading, there's a ton to do in this game, but a good amount of time other than when you're in school, when you're interacting with people. The other part of the game is obviously the fighting and the dungeons and using your personas, and that part is also something that caught me off guard. I didn't expect it to be so good. I really, really like the fighting. It's simple enough to understand for somebody who's never played it before. The game does a very good job of explaining everything to you as well, by the way. Like, it takes you kind of step by step. It introduces every new aspect of it kind of slowly and builds and builds and builds. So it's not like you're overwhelmed immediately. I think you can be overwhelmed in this game, just a little. But I think the game does a very good job of kind of building on itself and helping you out. But the combat is a byproduct of that. The combat is pretty easy to understand. There's not a lot to it, and yet there kind of is, and that's up to you to kind of explore. Like, there's the attack button, and then there's the personas where you can use their specific powers. And outside of that, there's a few other things. There's guards, there's telling your teammates to do specific things for you. Now that is where it kind of expands and gets a little bit more tactical, and you can use that, or you really kind of don't have to, at least right away, and at least at a normal or lower difficulty. Obviously, the higher up in difficulty you get, the fighting tactics you're going to use, you're going to have to be more smart about it. So the game does a very good job at making the fighting a lot of fun. Again, even that has a lot of glow and a lot of energy and personality to your personas, because your personas are pretty awesome. All of them are, and the enemies. And so when you have both of those together, the combat is really, really good. Like, you don't feel like there's any weak point to this game. When you're talking to characters, you really like these characters. Like, you really, maybe not even like, but you understand them, and they're all very strong in their own way. So the characters are strong. The story is insanely strong. There's enough stuff to do at all times. You're never bored. You're never going to do the same thing twice, because you're never going to have the same conversation twice, for what it's worth. And then the fighting, when you actually have to do the fighting is awesome. And so when you have all of those things put together, you have an absolutely incredible game in your hands. I don't know if this is my game of the year right now. It'd be between this and Horizon, but for sure, this game is a contender for game of the year. And I mean, I haven't beaten it. I haven't even played half of it. So maybe by the time I finish it, I'll say it's game of the year. I had a conversation with Nick or Tyler a couple days ago, and I was telling them that what's funny about this year so far is not only has this been the year that I've played the most games that I've probably ever played up to this point in a year, but the two games that I've maybe enjoyed the most. Now, I've played a lot of games, and I've enjoyed almost every game I've played, but two of the more fun games that I've played have ironically been Japanese games. Gravity Rush 2 is so good, and I can't wait to jump back into that because I've not really played it recently, but I really want to because that game is phenomenal. And Persona 5. Both of those games are super good, way better than I thought, even though I thought they were going to be good, and they're both Japanese games. Now Horizon and Mass Effect and Ghost Recon were also very, very good, but I didn't expect this to happen. So Persona 5, should you buy Persona 5? Absolutely you should buy Persona 5. Even if you're not into this, I'm not a JRPG person. I really am not. I played Final Fantasy 15, but before that, I really don't play those kind of games. It's not really for me, but you know what? Maybe it could be now, because actually those games tell fantastic stories, have really good characters, don't rely on cutscene after cutscene, although like I said, the animations for the anime cutscenes in this game are so good, like next level good. So maybe I will, but it's a game that I think anybody can pick up, because you're going to feel not overwhelmed, you're going to enjoy every single part of the game, which you may not expect to, and you're going to have a great ride all the way through. I think anybody can actually pick up this game and enjoy some part of it, but I absolutely think you should buy it. It could be Game of the Year. A good time to talk about this is we're having a Persona 5 giveaway going on right now. You can watch the video. It's the giveaway video. Watch it, follow the instructions, and you're entered for a chance to win Persona 5 for the PS4. So if you like it, if you watch this review and you are kind of into it, but you don't have the game yet, go watch that video. Maybe you'll win a copy and you can play it yourself, and then we can talk about it. So go watch that video. Make sure you subscribe to Podcast Now, our YouTube channel, for more of this stuff. Make sure you like this video and share it. Stay tuned. We're not done with Persona 5. Like I said, the giveaway video is going to go up. It's going to stay up all the way until Saturday, and we're still going to have Persona 5 tips and tricks coming up very soon. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.